Norton Psychiatric Center where I took my certification. And when I left that racetrack 10 years later, we had, I think, 191 people clean and sober for 6 meetings a week, and nobody had to be cleared to walk into any of them, just be an AA member. This program will open the door to anything and any place that you feel cannot be opened. You're building an archway through which you walk a free man. And so I really have to look at what it actually says. In the step meeting that I have, I like to look at the steps, and I have to go through them word for word. You know, it said, they're all in past tense, the steps. It's interesting. We admitted, not we'll admit. We came to believe, not we'll come to believe. We made a decision, not we'll make a decision. And the steps are actually pretty simple. The first one, you fess up. 2 and 3, you look up. 4, 5, 6, and 7, you clean up. 8 and 9, you pay up. And 10, 11, and 12, keep it up. I look at the relapse area in our area, and it is mind-boggling. I'm talking 35 years sober, 32, 29, husband and wife for 24. And so I really dissect step 1. I don't change it. It said we admitted we were powerless over alcohol. A lot of people say, and that our lives have become unmanageable, but there's no and in there. There's a dash. There's a dash. When my mom died, her headstone said Yvonne Marie Finnemore, 2013 to 2000. And 2 sets of numbers just told you how long she was on earth. The dash tells you everything. It tells you everything. But I go back further than that. It says we admit it, and stop right there when it comes to what's going on today. We admitted we were powerless. Powerless said that I had less power than was required to meet my everyday obligations. We were powerless over going where we go, doing what we do, saying what we say, saying no when we should say yes, saying yes when we shouldn't say no, being with people we shouldn't be with. There's when you're on your way out. The alcohol, see, alcohol was just a transportation system for me that got me here. Because if alcohol was the problem, how come I was unfaithful to my wife after I came to AA? I didn't take inventory, I took stock, and the more I looked, the worse she looked. And it's still happening today. I see it. I see it. If you're coming in here looking for a relationship, like I've said, the odds are good, but the goods are on. And then it said our lives, there's an S on that word, it is not singular. Our lives have become unmanageable. And that's why it's so important for me to look at how I live in my respective home. I have a financial life, a social life, a physical life, a family life, an employment life, and a sexual life. Are they all in order? That's why they said, what an order, I can't go through with it. Somebody said here yesterday that about the rules of this convention. Somebody said there are no rules. Read the doctor's opinion on it. 4 pages over, I think it says all we must do is follow a simple set of rules, and it's not a suggestion. So I think these are the things, you know, we get into contradictions and arguments when we don't have a leg to stand on. Said we came to believe, people say I have trouble believing in this God stuff. They don't give us a choice. They take that right away, mean the second step. It doesn't say we came to believe in a power greater than ourselves. It said we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. And what is sanity? It says a true recognition of what and who we really are, followed by a sincere desire to become what we're capable of becoming. Isn't that interesting? And it said restore. You see, so my first 20 years in AA, I restored old cars. I'd done a 28 Buick and a 38 Buick and a 40 Dodge and a 59 Ford Fairlane 500. And I had to look up the meaning of the word restore. And it says to return to original form. And so the good Lord has returned me to what I was as a little boy, when Daddy could give me a little slap on the backside and I'd crawl back up on his lap and say, I love you, Daddy. I've been restored to that type of an individual, where I can forgive. I can say I'm sorry. And I can say I love you and mean it. And I couldn't mean that until I looked up the word love in the dictionary and it said, genuine concern for your fellow human being under all conditions. It's an unconditional thing. It's funny, out of the whole 12 steps, only once do they ask us to make a decision. They know that's not one of our strong points. Agreeing with them. We don't even want to make a decision on where to go eat. You pick a place, wherever you pick it. The food's not good, it's your idea to come here, not mine. I don't put myself in any place where there's a chance that I could wind up looking bad. But it said we made a decision to turn our will and our lives. That's my thinking and my actions. And it was mentioned last night. It says we turn it over to the care of God, as we understood it. See, I never turn anything. If I turn something over to Tom, I expect him to look after it. You see, this here is a different thing. It's like if I ask Benoit, would you babysit our son while Linda and I go to the play tonight? It's in her care. But when the play's over, I must go back and pick him up and take him home and nurture him and raise him. See, that borderline between humility and senility is very thin with drunks, I'll tell you that. Yeah, when we ask someone to turn something over, we expect them to do it. No, that's not it at all. Not at all. So I think these are the things that I have to look at. It said we made a searching and fearless moral inventory, not a fearful immoral. We're not talking about moral. And isn't it interesting in all the studies they've done that every human being has 26 assets and they all have 26 defects. So the good are half bad and the bad are half good. We're not bad people. We've got to get off of that. They ask you to turn your will and your life over to the care of God. If you've never done anything before in your life as a favor to yourself, do that, please. Do that, please. It's not even a bad idea to get down on your knees, even if you don't. And when I went to do my first step 5 and told this old guy, I said, you know, I've been unfaithful to Winnie. He said, we know that, I want to know why. And I thought, ooh, they're getting personal. You know, we like to tell people about all the things we've done wrong, but no way do we want to tell them why. Mine was because of that little boy in New Brunswick. I was teased all my life as a little boy about my big ears and boils and what my real mother was. And that insecurity. I just love ladies. I just love women. Because last year, year before last, Linda and I, for a month-and-a-half holiday, went to India and lived in the Punjab. We traveled 5,000 miles up onto the Pakistan border, into the Himalayas, and down into Shimla, and the Golden Temple and Taj Mahal. And I got a first look to see how women are treated. 1.4 billion people. And I went there because we have the largest East Indian community outside of India in Vancouver and Surrey, about 380,000. And women are nothing. The boys are everything. And I'll tell you now, the Punjabi group on Saturday night never has less than 300 people there, and their wives are with them. This is the experiences that we share. We're talking about equality. It's a fellowship of men and women who share their experience strength with each other, unquote. It can't mean anything else. And so when I look at the exact nature of my wrongs, you know, if I'm listening to the 5th step of a street worker, do I have to listen to every trick she's turned? No. If she felt that was a wrong, why did you do it? Support your kids, support a habit, to pay your rent? We're talking about the nature of the wrongs. I was one no good SOB, I can tell you. But I look at my life today. My credit rating is 5-star. I learned that from people much wiser than I. You know, the only way